Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica and today I will be doing my low-buy update for July, and I can't believe the year is already half over. It felt like June flew by before I knew it. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I'm doing a low-buy, and for 2 years I did a beauty bank style low-buy, which was 20 credits, and anything I used up gave me 1 credit. Then for 2 years after that I was on a no buy, so no makeup at all except for when I traveled internationally. This year I'm going back on a low buy because a lot of my products are on the older side. I'm finding that I do have to replace some things, so this year I'm doing a 2 out 1 in style low buy and no starting credits. So I'm just gonna get into my life updates, and June was just a crazy hectic month. June is my birth month, and so spending time with family and friends celebrating my birthday, and then it was Father's Day, and then my brother came to visit for about a week, and he's my younger brother. I feel like he was rage baiting me extra hard this time. I don't know why, but it's always good to see him. We are very close, we game. We've also been trying to get pre-approved for a house, which has been a lot more complicated than I thought. When I met with a realtor last month, he basically broke it down for us and said where we live, houses are on and off the market within 3 weeks, so it is very competitive. So that's how my June went. On top of everything, I feel like 30 has not been kind to me. Like, it's only been a month. I feel like mentally I've been getting dumber, and physically I've been getting slower. So like, I don't know what it is. My brother did tell me that I'm getting dumber, but he's my younger brother, so I feel like he's legally required to say that. I was trying to eat healthier because I've been pretty much overweight my whole adult life except for the first semester of college. I had lentils last week, and then I went hiking the day after, and I was fighting for my life on the way down. It got to a point where I was telling myself, like, it's okay, you made it to 30 without shitting yourself, and I'm sure that it's understandable because you have IBS and almost everything upsets your stomach, but I made it. So now I'm scared of hiking without a bathroom, and I'm scared of lentils. And I was trying to do both for my health, and I'm sure it can only go uphill from here, right? So I'm going to change the subject now and 2 things. So I actually wanted to do a quick makeup review of things that I got in Asia. So I went to Japan in April. I made a list of things I wanted to purchase, and I figured now would be a better time than waiting for a whole nother year to do a mass review like I did for my Olive Young haul. I was talking about this mascara, I think in my makeup inventory video, which was like a few videos ago, and I said that this was not my favorite because while it does lengthen, it doesn't really voluminize my lashes, and I would like to take that back. This mascara is actually amazing because what I didn't realize is that you can layer this so easily. I'm only used to like getting 1 layer on each lash, which is probably why I wasn't really seeing the results I wanted to. I remember watching some videos where people put like 5 coats of mascara on their lashes, and I'm like, how do you get more than like 1? Because I would put the mascara on and then put another coat on, but then that coat would take off the first coat somehow, or like not stick. This really sticks to your lashes. It sticks to itself. I don't know what the magic behind this is, and it doesn't transfer that easily onto my skin. So I think maybe this is formulated to stick to hair better than skin. So yes, I can get volume and length from this mascara. I've also been using this. It looks questionable, I know. So this is a heated lash curler. This is the one from the brand Kiss Me, whose mascara I no longer love, but it was my favorite at one point. So you basically hold this button down and you can pick 55 degrees or Celsius or 59 degrees Celsius, and you just wait for a little bit, and then you press your lashes up like you'd be curling your real hair, I guess. I don't know if it's just me or if it's a lash formula, but this works well at first, but my lashes do fall down during the day. But I find that this is better at getting my lashes to stand up than a traditional lash curler. I think maybe I just have to figure out how to use this, but So far, I do like this for the duration that it works for. If it breaks, I probably wouldn't repurchase this one. I think I would actually splurge and get the $30 heated lash curler that's like a clamping one, because this one is just a wand, as you can see. So it's easier to get your lashes in the center, but like the lashes at the end, it's a little bit harder to get in. I think I got this because it was only like, it was probably less than $10 US. Okay, now on to my empties and purchases. So I always talk about every empty I have, including non-makeup empties like skincare and hair care, and then my purchases. Only makeup items count towards my beauty bank, and only makeup items count against my beauty bank. So I'm not restricted on skincare or hair care because I don't really have an issue with using those up. So I have this bin. It's very full. I had to take one thing out of it. Usually it's not this full after a month or two sometimes. I think there is makeup in here, but it's like really down in there. So I'm actually going to start with something that I wanted to recommend that's not makeup. So from Japan, I went to Nakamura, Tokichi. I got the matcha Seikan no Shiro matcha can. So I don't actually know which one this is. I remember buying one I bought two of them. So this is the first can. And they were very similar in price. They were right next to each other. And my brother was like looking up matcha shops to go to in Uji because we kind of went without a plan. Like I wanted to go to Uji. It was scheduled. We scheduled to go there, but I was just going to go up and down the street and buy whatever random matcha I found. We went here because it's really popular and like I'd heard the name mentioned to me before. It's grassy, it's buttery, and it tastes a little bit savory, and the flavor is kind of like seaweed, so it's also pretty smooth. This is one of the better matchas I've tried. I still have more matchas to go through. The other can I've tried of it tastes very similar, so I'm not sure if there is a significant difference. I'm sure there is, but my palate is just not refined enough to taste the difference. If you do see this, I would recommend it if you are interested in the flavor notes I listed. Because the makeup sank to the bottom, I'm just going to start with the things at the top and then talk about makeup at the end. So I have this Fino Premium Touch Hair Mask. I go through one of these every month and a half. I do have more of these. I need to put another one in my shower soon. But this is really affordable in Japan. I think it's like between 600 and 800 yen in Japan, which is like about $5 here, $5 US. I use this instead of conditioner because my hair, as you can see, has been bleached and dyed. So I need all the help I can get with keeping it happy, even though I know it's technically dead. If you've ever had dyed and bleached hair, you know that it feels very dry and like sticky. Like the hair sticks to itself, or it feels like there's something coating it, which I guess the dye is coating it, but it doesn't feel healthy. It feels like straw. So this definitely helps. And for $5, it can't be beat. Like this versus Olaplex, I will pick this. I believe this formula is meant for hair that is high porosity. Speaking of hair masks, I have this one from Unove. This is their Deep Damage Treatment EX in the scent Warm Petals. I believe I got this one in the US, and I've since replaced this, or I bought the refill, but I'm saving these jars for the refill because, as you can see, this one comes in a tube. It would be impossible to refill this, and so I was going to pour the refills into these containers. The refill's so big that I don't want to just cut it open and then have to reseal it every time I refill this. I want to just pour it all out into these containers so that I can toss the refill bag and not worry about the product going bad in the bag, because this would have a better seal than a clip would. But yeah, so this is actually the second Unove damage treatment I've used up. I didn't know that this is actually not a concealer. It's considered a hair mask, but they don't sell conditioners for this line. Yeah, I just leave it in for like 5 minutes. It leaves my hair very soft. The scent is... okay, maybe it's because it's been in this bin for a while, but it just smells a little rancid. Why did I think that was going to be better? Okay, I think the water that got into here made the container smell bad. When I was partway through using this, I finally got shower shelves, so now water does not get in. into my products, which is very good. But unfortunately, water did get into this one, so it does not smell good. I can't remember what it smells like. The scent isn't my favorite though, like even before it went bad, and it is very thick. So that's why I think they didn't put this product into like a pump, like the shampoos in a pump, because it would just get stuck. I think after you use about half of this, it becomes a battle to squeeze it out. So just keep that in mind if you do get this. But I do recommend it, and I know Sephora carries it now. I wish Ulta would carry it because I have so many more points at Ulta, and Ulta runs better sales than Sephora does. Sticking with hair items, might as well, right? I have this Madison Reed Color Wonder Flirt Worthy hair color in the shade Iconic Blonde, and it is 8 AG. I think that's like the level of like tone it is. I know 10 is the lightest, so it would be blonde, and then 1 would be the darkest, so it would be like black hair dye. This is what the back looks like. So it's telling you what your hair should look like after. So this is the before and this is the after. And this is actually my second time using this specific color. And where would I have been? So I really thought I was going to be the second one. Okay, but look at this. This is more like one of the lower ones, at least in this lighting. In real life, it is a lot more blonde looking. And I've had this in for a few weeks now. I should probably redo this sometime in the middle of July or at the end of July. But because this is darker, it's washing out a lot slower. You can see it on this side of my head a little bit better, but I don't know if it's because I didn't apply it to this side of my head as well as I did with this side. But I've been using these semi-permanent hair dyes ever since my sister-in-law told me to use it to keep my hair toned, because I thought that, you know, once you color your hair it's permanent, but no, that's really damaging, especially if your hair was bleached before. So that's why you have to keep toning it. I did try Iconic Blonde. I didn't like that one. That one did nothing. But this one, I can definitely see a difference before and after. And this time I left it in for 25 minutes. For the first time I used it, I left it in for 20 minutes. And in the future, I'm only going to do 20 minutes because it did come out a lot darker than I thought it was going to be. I still have 2 more. I'm probably going to see how long my hair is after I use those 2, because my hair has grown out quite a bit. My hair does grow kind of fast. Got it cut in January and colored. By the end of the year, it will be somewhere around here, like my roots. I think at that point I would still be coloring it though. So I'm probably going to continue to buy this color until my hair reaches past, I think until it reaches the bottom of my neck or the bottom of my first chin. Okay, that was I think the last hair item. So now I'm going to talk about my body lotions. So this is my Sol de Janeiro Balm Dia Bright Cream, and this is the Beija Flor Elastic Cream. So I go through one of these a month, and I go through one of these every few months. The reason why I go through one of these a month is because I use it on my arms and my legs every time I shower. Well, not in the shower, but after I get out of the shower. It's just the easiest for me to remember to use it, and I feel like my body absorbs it way better right after the shower. I have keratosis pilaris, and I think this was marketed towards people with keratosis pilaris, and I have tried straying away from this. Like, I tried Bath and Body Works, I tried some MLM body cream that my mom gave me, and I tried other stuff that came in like a gift basket, but I always go back to this, and it is very expensive, which is why I'm able to hit platinum or diamond. Which one's the 1000 one at Ulta? I think diamond is higher than platinum. At least in Valorant it is. I've gone through, I want to say, at least 20 of these. So you can do the math. That's almost $1,000. And then this one I use on my stretch marks. So I actually have, that's not that surprising for being overweight. Like, from this angle you can't tell, but I'm just under 200 pounds. I have stretch marks on my stomach, on my chest, and on my thighs, I think, but I can't really see that one that easily. So I just use this one on my stomach, and I use it on my chest area, like my décolleté. I don't have stretch marks there, but if I don't use this, the skin gets very dry and wrinkly, and I do not like that. So I use it there as well. and because the area I use it on is so small, I barely use any, so that's why it takes me so long to go through one. I have used this on my arms and legs in a pinch because when I travel, I usually only buy this one, like in a smaller container to travel with, and it does not work that well for keratosis pilaris. Speaking of keratosis pilaris, I have a Tree Hut body scrub in Moroccan Rose, and I think this is their award-winning scrub. Look at this ugly font. I have to point it out. I do not like this 60s style, like, hippie font. I like hippies, but not this writing. I go through one of these every month or a month and a half, depending on how often I remember to use it in the shower. But I use it whenever I feel like my skin is getting a little bit more rough, because I don't know if you can see, but it's chicken skin. So part of having this condition is that you have dry skin, and this definitely helps exfoliate it. Do not buy Tree Hut from Ross, Marshalls, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, any of those places, because the crystals in those ones are bigger and they hurt. This one is one of the more finer crystals. I'm not sure if it's because it is not as old, like it wasn't sitting on the shelf as long or something. I try to get these on a sale or when there's a points multiplier on them, which I didn't know, but Tree Hut is owned by a Korean family. And then I have a Sol de Janeiro Bom Dia Bright body wash. This is not as expensive as a lotion, and both my husband and I use it. We go through about one a month. I actually have one on its last legs in the shower, so it will be in next month's video. Not this month's, because I don't want to get up and get it. Also, I don't think it's completely empty yet. This smells delicious, and I use this with a silicone scrubber so that I have to use less of this product. And I recently got a free scrubber from Tree Hut when I bought more scrubs from Ulta during the points multiplier for AAPI month. So anyways, yeah, so now both my husband and I have scrubbers, so I feel like we're going through this a little bit slower now, which is good. This is like $26 a bottle, and one a month is quite pricey. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, it's worth it because I have also tried other body washes. I think the closest one to this in terms of, you know, making my skin feel smooth, hydrated, and clean, is the raw sugar body scrub, but I don't shop at Target, which is where I would typically have gotten it. They don't carry it at my Costco's, and I live near 3 of them. I have tried going back to like other types of body wash, but it's just this one works the best. And then I have this cleansing oil from Manyo. This I will get up for. So I bought this in Korea from Jeju. My coworker wanted a bottle, and I ended up picking up a bottle because I've also heard it's good, and I wanted one for my husband to use to remove his sunscreen at the end of the day because I can still smell it on him sometimes. Anyways, so this is the bottle I got in Korea. This plus the Skin 1004 sunscreen together were about like $27. At least that's what I charged my teammate on Venmo. This is definitely less than $25. And this is the one I bought for $25 from Ulta. What the fuck? Look at how much bigger this one is. I think I did get this with a points multiplier, so I got some benefit out of it, but $25 for this? I think someone did mention in one of my videos that you can get a 2-pack for the same price from Costco. I haven't seen it at my local Costco yet, but I also haven't been to Costco in a while. If I do see it there, I may repurchase it in the future. Obviously, I liked it enough to repurchase it, but I started using this too because it was in the shower and because it was easier than using my cleansing balm. However, I do prefer my cleansing balm over this because my cleansing balm makes my skin feel really soft, but I think it's online only, and right now I'm on a no online shopping ban. Like, it's one I put on myself because I enjoy not seeing any packages at the door. Last time something showed up was June 3rd, so it's been over a month at this point, and I know when you buy it and when it comes to your door there's like a little bit of leeway, like a few days. But yeah, I probably could just stick to using this until I lift my Unove ban, which will probably be sometime during the Ulta, their Diamond and Platinum Appreciation Day with the 10 times points multipliers. because I'm running low on my body lotion. So anyways, yeah, this definitely removes sunscreen, so I think it did its job. Remove sunscreen and makeup, but I always double cleanse because I have oily skin. I don't think that just using this will fully clean your skin, or at least I don't like the feeling of oil on my face. With the cleansing balm, it's different. Like, I could just use that and be done, but I prefer to follow up with a water-based cleanser after too. And then I have a sunscreen from Biore. I bought this in Hong Kong. This used to be my favorite sunscreen. I don't think I'll be purchasing this in the future anymore. It dries down really fast. It's good for if you have oily skin, but I prefer the Skin 1004 sunscreen over this. I feel like it's more gentle, and this definitely has alcohol in it. You can smell it in here. But this was my favorite for the longest time. This is very affordable. It makes great souvenirs if you have friends that like sunscreen. I think in the future I'm just going to be purchasing other sunscreens. And then I have a Touchland Hydrating Hand Sanitizer. This is probably the best hand sanitizer I've used. This is the scent Velvet Peach. I have seen on Sephora that kids use this as a perfume. This is not a perfume, this is hand sanitizer. Anyways, I was using this past the expiration date, and I'm pretty sure that a good chunk of it evaporated in the heat as well. There's still a little bit at the bottom, but this smells rank, so I'm not going to keep using it. I will probably pick up another one in the future because during a sale or during the points multiplier, because it definitely elevates the hand sanitizing experience. I know you can buy one of the little Purells, but I like this so much more. It's not that drying, and I don't use hand sanitizer super often, so in the future I'm just gonna get one instead of, I have 3 right now, or I mean 2 because this is empty, but I did get another one as a present a few years ago. I think that one's almost expired too. And this is the last skincare item before I talk about my makeup. This is my Tatcha the Silk Peony Smoothing Eye Cream. So they changed the packaging. There's a little spoon at the top, and at first I was kind of like, why did you put the spoon there? It's so annoying. Like, it's a waste of space and packaging. And then I had long nails and everything made sense, because with long nails, it is impossible to get product out without it going into, like, under your nail and just getting stuck there. It's actually good packaging design. I can admit when I'm wrong. There's not that much in here. This packaging is definitely thicker than you'd think. Like, it has thicker walls, but this has been a constant repurchase for me. The price has gone up a lot since I first started buying it, but it does last me a while. My husband did ask me for an eye cream recommendation, and I do have one right now that's brand new, but I'm not sure if he's going to wear it that often. I will probably talk to him about it after this video and see if he wants to start off with this eye cream or a much cheaper one. So I'm going to go over my Project Pan Empties first. So I have a blush from Bare Minerals. This is their Gen Nude Blush in Call My Blush. This is 2 grams, so it's not exactly full size. The full size of this is 6 grams, which is way bigger than, I feel like, your standard blush. The packaging is starting to break. It was very light on my skin. Like, that's why I thought it blended well, because it was so light, but you actually need like a ton of it to get clown cheeks, so I guess that's a good thing too. That's why I prefer higher end blushes over drugstore blushes, because it's harder to look like a clown. I don't have any drugstore blushes. Actually, I have drugstore highlight, but I think that's it in terms of like face powders. I've had this for, I want to say, at least 4 years, probably like closer to 6 years. They discontinued this and then brought it back when I was on a low buy. I think it's from 2021 or 2020. And then I have this blotting powder from the brand Pretty Skin. I did remove the sifter. It did come with a sponge as well, and the sponge was really holding the powder down. As soon as I removed the sponge and shook the container, all the powder filled the top part of the container to the lid. This was only 5 grams. This was in my project pan for just 1 month before I used it up completely, but before that I had already been using it here and there, and I just wanted to finish it and get it out of my collection. But I bought this with the intent of using it to touch up my makeup, like blot my face before filming or after putting on sunscreen at work, like reapplying it to use this so that I could mattify my face because my sunscreen stick at work makes me very, very shiny. That was too much work. So I just took it home, decided to use it up completely. Will probably not repurchase this again. I don't feel like I need something like this. It did make my skin very soft, but it was white. Like the powder in here was white. It is not translucent unless you are like the color of Asian beauty standards, which I'm not. I don't even know where to buy this anymore because I bought this from the Face Shop a long time ago, and I'm sure they don't carry this anymore. And then this is probably a bit of a surprise and not a surprise. I have my Milani eyeshadow primer. So I bought a backup for this pretty recently because this was not cooperating with me. It was very difficult to get it out, and I've done a thing where you swing it like this, ow, to get it out, and also like pressing it like this, you know, like when you have the last bit of toothpaste you're trying to get out. But it just got to the point where it was so difficult that I was like, you know what, I've had this open for like 2.5 years. I've had it for 2 years before that, like just sitting unopened. I'm just gonna get rid of it. I used it as much as I could tolerate it. It was so hard to get it out at the end, and when I opened the new pack, it was way less dry than this. So I'm sure this had to go a long time ago. I tried to keep it around for as long as I could. I think this was the second tube I used up, and now I'm on my third tube. So I bought this as a replacement for the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion, and I like this a lot more because, as you can see, there is no stick in here. If Milani ever changes it to be the same packaging as the Urban Decay primer potion, I will stop buying this. I might even just go back to the primer potion at that point. I don't know if it actually does anything significant, to be honest, but I just use it anyways because I have oily lids and I am not trying to have fallout at the bottom of my eyes by the end of the workday. And I'm sure I might have fallout now because I saw some earlier when I was doing my makeup. I decided to try and do a gold eyeshadow look today. Today is the 4th, but I'm not used to using colorful eyeshadows anymore. I only have like one colorful eyeshadow palette. And the last makeup item I have is from Clio. It is their Kill Lash in Sharp Curl. This is what it looks like. The thing with these mascaras is that the first coat is really nice, and then after that it is really hard to get more than one coat without it taking off the first coat. And for some strange reason it's only this eye. So I start on this eye, put on one coat, and then I put on the coat for this eye, and then I put the one back in here, get more product out, put it on this eye, and then I try to do it for this eye, but then the product doesn't dispense onto this eye as well as this eye. I don't know why, and I honestly cannot tell the difference between all of the Clio formulas. They are all kind of the same to me. I thought that my baseline for a good mascara was that it does not smudge and that it can hold my curl. For the longest time I thought volume and length were not possible for my lashes. I just don't think volume is possible for my lashes, and I do like voluminous lashes, like, you know, caterpillar lashes, but that is not achievable with my lashes. And I don't want to go so extreme to like lash blindness lashes, but thicker than what I have. I'm realizing that my lashes actually aren't that short. They're kind of long for Asian lashes, but they are so straight, and I don't have a lot of them. So that's why I think that I will never be able to achieve luscious lashes. But I think long lashes are still in the cards for me, so maybe I should just embrace that more. I think the opera lash is better for that. I still have one more Clio mascara. I'm going to try and use it before I go to Asia, and if I really don't like it, then I'm just going to stick to the opera lash. But I remember liking this. It's just that all the formulas are pretty much the same. Do pretty much the same thing on me. It also takes forever to dry down, and in order to use the lash curler that I mentioned earlier, you need to put mascara on your lashes first and then curl it. That's what causes the curl to hold better. And because the Clio lashes dry so slowly, I'm always smudging the mascara over everything when I use my lash curler. And onto my purchases. I didn't buy any makeup this month, but I used up 4 products, so that would be 2 credits because it's 2 out 1 in, so 2 divided by 2 is 2. I forgot what my current beauty bank is at. I know it's at either 1.5 or 2.5, but editing me will know. I did get some hair care supplies from my sister-in-law, so she gets a discount, which means I get a discount. So I was running out of purple shampoo. I'm not quite out yet, and then she called me when she was in the store and asked me if I wanted purple or blue shampoo because I mentioned that I have brassy hair, like as you can see, or I struggle with brass, and she said the blue one is specifically for brass, but I know you've been using purple. So I was like, oh shit. So now I'm going to try out blue shampoo and conditioner from Matrix. Oh, okay, so this is way cheaper than online. I think these were under $12 each for the shampoo and conditioner. And then I started using dry shampoo again because I was trying to film a video, but my hair was very greasy and I have to wash my hair every other day. Like by day 3, it is disgusting. Used dry shampoo and then realized that my Asian hair care shampoo does not get everything out. Like I will be scrubbing for a while. So I also asked for the, is this Jue or Ue? Someone's probably gonna tell me. Detox shampoo. It's got a small bottle because I actually asked my coworker which one she uses, and she said she uses this one, but it's very expensive for the big bottle. I think it's $64 for the jumbo size, and this is just the travel size, and she said this one will last her all year. So because I would only be using this when I use dry shampoo, which is today, I was like, okay, just give me a small size so I can test it out, because in the past I was using the Hask clarifying shampoo, which worked fine. The Living Proof. I also used the Living Proof clarifying shampoo. That one worked, but they don't have either one at Ulta anymore. So I saw this one at Ulta too, but these are not from Ulta. So that was everything for my purchases, and I guess everything for this video. I can't think of anything else to speak about. My pinky knuckle hurts from slamming the eyeshadow primer lid into it. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to have plenty of footage to edit because my camera died partway through this video and I had to scrap multiple scenes. But thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you in a month for the next update. Bye!